Hey everybody, or should I say good day?
Don't be lame.
I'm back from Australia. We did Charlotte immediately after I got back. Like, I think I was home 6 or 8 hours. Jumped in the truck, we went to Charlotte. We didn't really film there because we were just buying. We didn't really have a big setup. So it is now, back to back, is now Spring Carlisle. It is Monday, setup day. The weather looks like fantastic for this week, which is odd because only a couple years ago it was snowing here. We never know, but the weather looks like it's going to be really good, which means a lot of good stuff will come out. We have a ton of good stuff to bring this year, and we'll show you guys setting up what kind of stuff's at the swap meet. We can already see around us there's a bunch of neat cars and projects coming in, so we'll show you all that, show you some highlights and what we find this week. So we got to get unloading, so let's go.
morning, everyone. It is Wednesday in Carlisle. We are all set up finally. We survived the wind of Monday and Tuesday. Steve almost blew away twice, but he's still here. You survived.
I was saved by my big belly.
So we're all set up. I'm gonna go wander around. Matt's out shopping already, but we got a pretty good spread this year of all kinds of stuff. A little bit of everything. A bunch of good doors. So we'll go wander the fairgrounds and see what showed up.
All right, so we are back from Carlisle, and we had a back-to-back shows with Charlotte and Carlisle being together this year. Made it very tough, and then for me, I had back-to-back with Australia, Charlotte, Carlisle, and we are as close as we're going to get to normalcy for IronTrap now the week after. So figured we'd film a quick little wrap-up to end this video. Wasn't a ton of stuff that was like crazy to film it at the actual show this year, but everybody likes to know and see what we buy. But first, all this madness back here is our auction. It is ending the 30th, the end of this month. So you're watching this, and it's the last Sunday of the month. April 30th is when the auction ends. A lot of this stuff is still going pretty cheap. So make sure you visit the link in the end of our video, or you can Google Cabin Fever Auction Company, and they have it live right now that you can set up and bid and grab yourself a deal. Speed equipment, new old stock panels, Model A, project, etc., etc. So that's my advertisement. So now we're gonna get into what we found, and there is a few things that we're not showing, just that are packed away with unloading the trailer. It got to be madness. So first couple things here, we're actually at Carlisle, our neighbor across the row. This is definitely a tip for anybody that is going to swap meets. A lot of times I get so crazy about running off and searching for stuff on the other end of the swap meet that you don't even check the guy that's literally across the row from you or next to you. Guy across the row usually has a variety of stuff and not really a lot of old stuff, but this year he had a bunch of 35 to 37 Chevy stuff. So some garnish molding for coupes and sedan, whatever. And some hood pieces. There's also some Chevy truck stuff mixed in, which we'll show you in a little bit. This is all kinds of goodies. So keep an eye out. We'll be selling that, headlights. So we'll definitely be selling that stuff. It was just a good deal, and I kind of packed it all together and made his life easier. Got a set of 42 to 8 skirts. They're in pretty good shape. They're a tiny bit of surface rust. Those are going to end up getting sold. We bought a bunch of visors. We ended up selling, I think, 2
of them. Black one sold, and we sold another one there.
Yeah, we sold another one there. So sometimes the stuff gets sold at the swap. So the black one sold. The other one we have, again, just walked up on a guy that had all these laying together, and I just looked at one of them, and he really wanted to get rid of all of them, and he just threw out a price, and I'm like, fine.
I'll take it.
Happens a lot to us. We have a reputation for that. Yes. This is probably one of my favorite scores. I got this at Carlisle. We were driving back after picking up all of our stuff at the end of the day. We like our swap meet tips that we show. We always leave piles around, little breadcrumbs, and at the end of the day, we get in the truck and we drive around, pick it all up. I had a big pile of stuff at one guy that was all the way on the top of the field with a 5th wheel trailer. We just stuffing stuff underneath. And when we were driving back, I was like, "Stop!" Yelled the mic, and a guy that was selling signs had this really nice set of powder coated Kelsey Hayes 16-inch wire wheels. I bought them for a pretty darn good deal, and those are getting put aside for myself or a future build. They're probably one of the nicest sets I've had in a long time, if not ever. So those are definitely staying on the keeper pile for now. We got this nice 32 old louvered hood. It has some writing on the side. I can't even know. I don't know what the name says or what it says exactly, but pretty neat. The louvers are kind of cool. Being long like that is kind of unusual. So that I'm going to put aside, kind of gathering parts for that 32-3 window. We're calling it the 32 free window.
Yes.
Seattle Matt from Seattle Speed Shop. He actually nicknamed it that when we were texting. We bought all that 32 Roadster stuff, and it came with the 3 window. We of course sold the Roadster. For anybody that didn't know, we sold the Roadster project to a local guy, and we sold some other parts, and we're pretty much at the point where we sold most of the stuff, and we're almost broken even or free for the 3 window. So we're calling it the free window. So that's what that hood's going with. So 33 hood, we got one hood side and top with the handle, which is pretty cool. So we picked that up. That is going to be a seller. So if anybody needs a 33 hood, we got half of one.
Driver's side.
Driver's side. So this is cool. Picked up these from the same guy we got the hood side from. He has a set of Raider cheater slicks that are the narrowest cheater slicks that you can find that are currently produced. They're like a little over 7 inches wide or 7.5. They have these cool checker flag pattern on them, and they came with a universal set of set of steel wheels. So we're going to be selling those. They are really cool. I was kind of thinking for myself, but I rolled them already up next to a car, and they're a little shorter than what I had in mind for the Schroll coupe. So we're going to pass them on, and somebody can buy these, which they are really sweet. They were out of stock for like ever. All right, so we bought a bunch of stuff from a guy in Charlotte that he was clearing out a relative's property at a farm full of stuff, and he was dragging all kinds of sheet metal out, and we got there at the right time at the right place, and as he was unloading, we scored a bunch of good stuff. So this is obviously a firewall here for
33.4.
I get them mixed up. Mike knows better than me now. 33.4, and so that we're going to be selling. Of course, it had a tag on it. Swapping back over, these are killer. This is probably again one of my favorite finds. So these are, they called these the milk truck wheels or high clearance wheels. Ford made back in the when they were making early Fords. They made high clearance wheels that were put on bigger trucks or whatever. It was an optional thing. Some people call them milk truck wheels. And they are very hard to find. They are hen's teeth. They are 18-inch, but they fit the normal passenger car hubcaps in them. For a short period of time, a company made repro'd them and made them out of aluminum, and they are almost an exact match of them. Super cool. A guy was selling a bunch of rusty old Ford stuff, and then he had these wheels sitting there that whatever estate he got them from, they must have bought a set. So these are a set of 18-inch high clearance wheels. They are the repro aluminum ones that were remade, which are just fine because they look like the real deal. The real thing has that that like relief there for the valve stem. And I scored a set of these. Super psyched to have them. I've been looking for a real set forever. I actually have some Firestone Indy tires, some racing tires that are 18-inch that I was trying on my Halabrand wheels. I think I'm going to test fit these on the 33 with the Arden because it might be a cool look. I tried the magnesium wheels. I didn't really like the look. So I think with running stock hubcaps with this, with the bigger tire, it might be a pretty cool look. So keep an eye out. We'll probably do an update video or something, or work it into a week in the life of here soon. So those are obviously keepers if you guys.
And they take 40 Ford and up caps.
Yeah, any passenger car or truck caps that take the inside nubs, they fit, which is really, really cool. Some more stuff that we got from the sheet metal guy and Charlotte. We got a 33.4 coupe rear window, sedan rear window garnish. That is one of the big scores. That's 33.4 old chrome. I'm sorry, 34 old chrome 3-window garnish molding, which is like hen's teeth. Of course, I was looking forever for 3-window 33 garnish molding. Couldn't find it, and didn't find that. So yeah, that's how it goes. 32 gas tank. I'm gonna hold on to that for one of the cars, of course. I got, oh yeah, here. So we met a nice guy that his father used to vend behind our buddy Pete. His father passed away and his dad had some stuff, and he was nice enough to give us first shot at some of it. This is an Olds Krager intake, and we got some Stelling breathers from, but what's interesting is someone welded and enlarged the pattern here that I believe to put a 671 on it. So they actually had it machined. They did a really nice job, and I think that's what it's for. I'm not sure, but it's an old Krager blower intake, which is pretty cool. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it, if I'm going to sell it or keep it. Right now it's probably a keeper, but I don't know. I got an engine with all the stuff I need on it. So.
But you need a spare.
Yeah.
You always need a spare.
I need a spare for the shelf, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we have two. I bought these two in one shot, a chrome and a steel, unchromed 32 chopped windshield frames, which is pretty cool. The chrome one, actually, the chrome is very, very nice in it. So those, I got to decide what I'm doing. We're going to definitely at least sell one of them. I may keep the chrome one. I'm not sure yet. We may sell them both. It might twist my arm enough. I got this 35.6 glove box that somebody kind of quickly painted, but it's actually in good shape. It's not all rusty or patched up. We also bought, and we sold already, two 34 dashes we got in the one big batch of stuff we bought at Charlotte. So we have that one left over. Somebody bought the other one. This is really cool. I've been looking for some of this stuff for a while. Bowers made batteries, battery cables, spark plugs, and they were in our local area, Reading, Pennsylvania. And it's pretty hard to find Bowers stuff that isn't like extremely expensive. So I found this from a vendor. It was a pretty reasonable deal. Only downside is that someone clear coated it. Stop doing that. Stop clear coating patina. It looks like shit. So, but again, the deal was okay. I would have just been nice, because if you wouldn't have clear coated this, we could have used some steel wool and some cleaner and probably got 90% of this surface rust staining off, and it would have even looked better. But I'm happy to have it. I'm gonna hang it up. If any of you guys have some Bowers Reading, PA signage or anything like that, hit me up. I might be interested in it.
I'll sell you a box of spark plugs.
I might be interested. So yeah, I got that. That's pretty cool. Obviously, a keeper going in the new garage. These are really cool. My buddy Pete, who everybody knows from being in the channel, Pete has a crazy speed equipment collection. In the recent years, he's been starting to sell off some of the stuff he's not as in love with. He brought like 7 or 8 sets of heads to Carlisle this year, and he called us like a week ahead of time and said, "Hey, I think I'm going to sell a bunch of my extra finned heads." So he kind of gave me a rundown. He mentioned these, which I had eyeballed before. They're a set of custom APA heads. I don't know exactly. We think they might have been like a Sears or JCPenney or something like that. Sold them back in the 50s or whatever, or 60s. And Pete had these, and I skimmed them off the top. He gave me a pretty good deal. I'm gonna hang them on the wall, and when I get the right car with an APA in it, these will be perfect. So yeah, those. We got a lone Wyand APA head that we bought, so if anybody's looking for one of them, we got a spare, or we'll hold on to it till we find some. Bought some 33.4 inner splash front fender aprons, whatever you want to call them. Those are pretty cool. got a bunch of signs this year. I don't know why I was like in this rhythm of buying signs. I rarely ever buy signs.
Atlantic signs. Only Atlantic signs.
Only Atlantic signs. I don't know why. We had another white, red, and blue Atlantic sign that was the size of this big
I'll drop
one.
a photo in of what we had.
Yeah, of one of them that I bought, and then we actually resold it at the show, which was pretty cool. So my rule, because I have a bad habit of keeping signs this year, was we're going to buy them, put them in the booth, and if somebody wants them, we'll sell them before I get to fall in love with them. So we sold those. We still have these 2 left. I'm going to let Mike leave them at the warehouse until I can make room. I really want the red. Red Atlantic is double-sided. Some guy had like, what, 4 or 5 of these?
Yeah, he had a lot.
He was at, I think he has Sinclair, big Sinclair round sign. It was an older guy that said he had them on his farm since he bought the property like many years ago. And I think somebody tipped him off like, hey, signs are worth money. So this one was pretty affordable. The other ones were all priced like pretty high. I bought this one. Might resell it, might keep it, I don't know, but it's pretty cool. And then we got this other Atlantic white flash sign. It's been folded at the bottom. Again, I bought the stuff right so that I don't really care if we sell it or we don't. If I can find a spot on the wall, they may end up going up on the wall. But until I get some time, they're going to stay here, and Mike has one more chance to sell them.
If you'd like to buy them, send us an email.
Yeah. We had a viewer. One nice thing at swap meets now is people know that we buy crap. So we're having viewers come by to get money for spending money for swap meets. It's kind of funny. We had like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 people this year that came by with stuff that they either ahead of time hit us up, or they just showed up and said, I got some stuff in the truck you might want to buy. And they showed me photos and, you know, oh yeah, sure. So guy brought by this 32 dash that's actually in remarkably good shape. There's like no rust or pitting. You can see how nice it is on the backside. So I gave him a fair price for it, told him we're going to be reselling it, and he was fine with that. So we bought that. So we have that. We bought that. Did we buy that here?
Yeah, you bought that at the from the guy behind Pete.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we got a I couldn't even remember anymore. Got this Magneto for small block. It says Mallory's on it. I don't know what the...
Yeah, I don't know why that's on there. Maybe it's for someone named Mallory.
But the guts are empty inside. We buy these up a lot of times. Pat Mason that does ignition stuff, he's one of the gurus. He does all of our stuff. A lot of times we trade him ignition pieces when I get something done or we get something for our own cars. We trade in some cores and stuff like that. So I bought that. I'll probably just trade it in for, you know, credit when I get something done. Mike bought...
I didn't buy these 2. Matt bought these in Charlotte. Small block, Chevy, it's early Ford. And we're not sure what that might be.
Lincoln Y block.
Yeah, it's early Ford. And then I found one guy selling all of these other adapters, which are all brand new, never used. The majority are Transdapt, and they're all, most of them are Buick to early Ford. This one's Buick to later for like 49 plus, but they're all brand new, never mounted. There's an Olds Cadillac flat plate to early Ford on there, but all brand new, never mounted. So they were just a good deal. I was at the right spot at the right time.
Again, you were just Mike was just walking out filming, and he's like, I don't think I'm gonna buy anything. And he only had
I made it 5 rows and ended up with an armful of adapters.
he called me and said, I need you to bring the hand truck. I'm like, oh God.
It was a lot.
So we notice a theme every year. We always end up buying, for whatever reason, at big swap meets. We end up getting a rhythm. So I bought signs. That was one of the things. At Charlotte, it was 40 Ford wheels. This winter, I was looking for
40 Ford stuff. You bought a couple dashes too.
That's right. 40 Ford stuff, but definitely specifically wheels. We bought like 3, 4, 5, I don't know, 40 Ford wheels. So we have a couple here that we bought. Got one on a complete 40 Ford steering box.
There's another one somewhere else. I don't know where it's at, but we bought 4 total.
Yeah, there's a bunch floating around, which is kind of funny because when we were finishing up the DeLorean Roadster, I didn't have the one on it was pretty crappy and I didn't have one. And then I ended up swapping it between the Roadster pickup. Worked out, but now we have so many, I don't even know what to do with them. So that's pretty funny. I bought from a guy who had 2. There's other ones over there. These are, I believe, 4041 Willys, but this one, you guys know my love of old chrome, is a 4041 Willys old chrome steering box with the tube. Somebody locked it off there, which isn't a huge problem, but it has the pitman arm and everything. I ended up buying both of them because the guy really wanted them gone, and if I bought just this one, he wanted like 90% of what he wanted for both, so I just bought them. I was kind of annoyed because I didn't want the other one, but we will sell it, and you know, hopefully that'll be cool. But that's cool. What I like about these Willys, if anybody's ever keeping an eye out, they have a flange that they mount. You can mount them right on top of the frame rail. So if you're doing a car that has a big drop axle or is stepped or even channeled hard, these are really good because you can put it up on top of the frame rail. Then it gets your drag link at a much more level position, and it works out really nice. So this is a nice box because they're kind of universal. They're small, similar size to like a 32 to 4 box. So they work
this one right here. It's basically
Yeah.
the same size.
Yeah, basically same thing, just different flange. So that was cool. Good buy. That's staying on the keeper pile, obviously, because it's all chrome. I bought a pair of, early on like pre-setup day at Carlisle, I bought a pair of 37 DeSoto bumpers. And the one was like super nice original chrome with the overriders, and then the other one somehow was under the ocean. So we're gonna sell this one. The chrome is usually bad on them. Whatever chrome they used from the factory was very poor, and this one I kept is the only one I've ever seen with nice original chrome on it. So this one I think I'm gonna sell. I'm gonna hold on to the other one and hope that someday I can find another nice one, and my 39 Merc or something will end up getting them. They're put away.
Super nice and straight though, even though the chrome's crappy.
Yeah, this chrome is crappy, but it's like straight, not bent up, not tweaked, so it'd be a good one to strip down and have re-chromed. But for my crappy cars, it doesn't make sense. Edmunds Custom 59 AB setback for running a generator intake. That was a good one. Pick that up. That'll just be a resale because I have one already. Got this cool, I think this is Badger, but what's unusual, got this from our friends Patty and Tim. They had a bunch of these, but what's unusual is this one's set up for a Stromberg or Holley carburetor, 2-barrel. So this is pretty neat if you want to put it on something that only has one carburetor, like we were talking about the Roadster pickup with the McCullough blower, just has one 97 on it. So may test fit this and see how it looks. Could be kind of neat on it, not sure, but that's something I'm going to hold on to just for the right car. It'll be pretty cool. 40 Ford, I bought a pile of 40 Ford stuff with this really crappy dash, but has a standard with a chrome surround gauge. So I'm gonna hold on to that because I have pipe dreams of owning a 40 someday, maybe.
Looks much better than the Deluxe.
Yeah, I think so. This is cool. Got a NOS Nash Twin distributor cap. So if you want to run dual ignition, like dual plug, this was the distributor that came on these cars was dual plug, and you can run these on the Nash 16, or dual coil rather, and you can run these on a flathead. So I have one of these distributors with a nice cap, but if you're trying to do that swap, these caps are nearly impossible to find. So this is a new old stock distributor cap in the box. I grabbed that. That is a good one. Probably going to sell it because I am fortunate enough to have a nice distributor. So hit us up if you need one. Finned offset generator bracket. We're always buying those. Those are cool. We got a couple sets of these Siegel chrome wing nuts for the valve covers, which are really neat. I set one aside for myself. If you look inside of it, it's got a cool water slide in there too. So this one we're going to be selling. They're just neat old dress up stuff for your hot rod. Again, I kept one set. We're going to sell the other ones. These I got, this is what I have on the Sweetheart Roadster, but one of them, the chrome is crappy on, or not as nice as the other three. So I got these two somewhere for a good deal. So I'm going to find the best four and put them on my car and probably sell the extras. This is a Stellings, like military hat style, if you want to call it that. These are really neat. I only got one of them, but I'm going to hold on to it for someday. Got a Lincoln Zephyr. What year is it again? 40?
No, 38 or 39.
39. 38, 39. Clock. I scored that somewhere. A guy didn't know what it was. It just says, I'll cover the price because somebody's going to yell at us for it. And I talked them down. And yeah, so that'll be for sale. You can probably see the price there. Screw you. Mike got this nice oil pressure gauge.
I'll be hanging on to that probably.
Yeah, that's a really nice one. Smooth bezel, crescent needle. And I got a Wings water temp gauge with for an electrical sender, which is unusual, but it's an old Wings gauge, so I always hold on to those. So I'll put that in my case. These are neat. I got somewhere. They're all Bakelite electrical, I guess, unions, if you want to call them that, junction box. So those are cool to have, just because if you're going to put them somewhere where you could see them, it's neat that they're new old stock and they're old looking. Instead of trying to hide new stuff, you can use these. So again, those are getting set aside. And then a bunch of other switches, doodads. And then we got this. A viewer brought us some stuff to buy. Again, another guy was trying to get some spending money at the swap meet. And this is super cool. This is an Amico brake adjustment guide tool, if you want to they call it a brake gauge. But basically, you can measure the inside dimensions of your drum on any drum, but specifically early Ford, and then you take that measurement and you put it onto your brakes, and then you can see how far to adjust your brakes out. So it has like a, you can take a figure with the clearance. And it's brand new. I don't think it's ever been used.
All the tools are still in the paper.
Yeah, everything's still in the paper. Really, really cool. He knew we'd want to have it, so he gave me a great deal on it versus what they're going for on eBay.
We're actually going to use it.
Yes, and I am going to use this, but it has a little micrometer dial there. But again, you can see here. So you measure your drum there, and then you can take that measurement out to here, and then you can adjust your Ford brakes to match. So you can get the top, especially on a 3940 style brakes that have the adjusters on the top and bottom. It's a little hard to get them right. So with this gauge, you can put them on there and get everything exactly as it needs to be. So super cool. Steve and I are excited to try this out and see how crappy our brakes currently are on our cars that we adjust them. And stuff might stop a lot nicer with this.
Wow, we've been doing it wrong all these years.
Oh, I'm sure some of the cars aren't very good. All right, door department. We bought a ton of doors. Again, another theme.
So set this up. I packed before Charlotte. We had 2 pairs of doors. These are all the doors that we bought.
Yeah. So we bought all kinds of stuff. So we bought, mixed in here, we have, there's a 35-36 3-window passenger door. There's a 33, this is probably the rarest thing, 33 3-window door, driver's door. So that is very, very hard to find, 33 specific. And these doors are all in pretty good shape. Minor rot repair needed, but nothing major. They're not all pitted.
35-36 2-door.
2-door, which could be paired with a 3-window door to make it a 3-window. So we do kind of have a pair. These are
35-36 5-window.
5-window coupe doors that are really nice that Mike found. We bought a set of 4 34 Ford 4-door doors, which the front doors can be used for a 5-window with a little trimming. Again, pretty darn nice condition, so we have a pair of them. And I bought a pair of Model A 3031 coupe doors.
That's all the doors we bought.
Yeah, they're probably. And we got this a 35 Chevy grill we got with all the pieces from our neighbor at Carlisle. And we got this trunk lid, which we are holding on to for the Roadster that Mike picked up, and I actually didn't even get to look at it yet, that Mike got in Long Island.
I might get fired after this video.
Then,
well, here, let's skip over to this real quick.
Yeah. Don't show this. 40 Ford roof. For whatever reason, there was a guy at Charlotte. I'm guessing he got him at the scratch and dent from Carpenter or something. He had this roof out there for pretty affordable. Mike talked him down, and we got a good deal on it for resale, of course. And then we went to pick this one up, and he had another one out there. So
yes.
we stood there for a while. We're like, should we buy the second one? I'm like, nah, probably not that many people need them. So we bought this just to kind of keep an inventory. We do this sometimes, especially with there being supply chain issues since COVID. We've been buying some stuff like this that generally I wouldn't have bought 3, 4, 5 years ago. But because of stuff being out of stock a lot with the big suppliers, we've been doing very well with buying the stuff, squirreling it away. And then when the time comes that they're out of stock and you need it, we have it available. We could sell for a fair amount. We don't rip people off. It's just that we can sell it for basically almost like retail price because we're the only ones. So we have a lot of gaskets and new parts like that we've been doing that with. And Mike's been selling the crap out of it because everyone's out of stock. So it works out well for us. That's just, you have to have the space, the money, and be willing to sit on the stuff, which we're gonna do for that. So if you need a 40 roof, we got it. If not, maybe 5 years from now, you'll get a car with smashed roof. We'll probably still have it.
Gaskets are nice and small, but we bought the biggest thing we could possibly buy.
Why not? We were bored. So we got lucky. Usually at every swap meet we buy, or round of swap meets, we buy a grill. We never know if it's 32 or 33.
We didn't buy any good steering wheels this year. We usually find at least one banjo wheel for $50.
Yeah, we didn't get any good banjo wheels. You saw the guy we know, Joe, snagged a really good Olds wheel right in front of Mike, and he was like, oh. So we almost bought one.
Almost.
Didn't get one. So, but grills. Yeah, so at Charlotte, during one of the setup days, or early on the first day, we were walking and there was
we were driving. It was setup day. We were driving in the truck.
Setup day. There was two older guys setting up a bunch of like not Ford stuff, like Chevy stuff. and he had just this grill sitting out there. Somebody started restoring it. It has a bunch of, you know, spots where somebody had done some repair work in there. But they did a pretty decent job on the face of it. And then they had it copper plated to get it chromed, and then they stopped. So we don't know where the guy got it. Maybe he's buddy with a chrome shop and the guy never paid his bill and this is as far as it got. But we're gonna be selling this one. This is a good one. And if you wanted to run it like this, be a pretty cool look on a car, or it's one step away from chroming. You could take it in, have it dipped, and have a good for a driver. I would see the repair work is like, you're not gonna win Amelia Island, but it's good for a driver, or as is. So we will be selling that one. Mike scored this one. On the fence if I want to sell this or not. He did have it out for sale. It has a couple little tweaks in the...
I think that's the only bar that's tweaked.
But this is one that somebody re-chromed. It's an original grill that there is a couple little repairs and welds on it. You can see the pitting on the backside. But the chrome is pretty decent. It'll clean up very, very nice. I think I might want to hold on to this one for one of us, because if we get a body, I think I have one other extra grill for 34, but what I may do is I have a bunch of 33 grills, so I may take a 33 grill down and sell it. That's been our kind of agreement. If I put a grill up, I need to take a grill down. So
it doesn't always work out, but occasionally it does.
Occasionally it does. I'm gonna try and do that. So that was definitely a good find. That's one thing with Mike getting very good at this now. He's learned as much as I have at this point, so he knows what stuff's worth, what to look for, and he's snatching stuff up. We did not steal this. This was a fair price, but it was not like a $200 grill. I will tell you that. It was a fair amount of money, but it was a good deal considering the conditions.
I didn't even have to call and ask. I just handed the guy the money and walked away.
Mike texted me a photo holding the grill, and I was like, my head was like, oh my God. So that was cool. Anything else?
I think that's basically it. Now we just got to put everything away.
Yeah, we got to put all this stuff away. A bunch of this stuff that's going home with me. I brought the little Roadster pickup because now we're actually using it as a truck. So we're going to throw some of this stuff in the back of that. And then we got to get all this put away. So if there's something you saw that you wanted to buy, as always, send us an email, irontrapgarage@gmail.com, or you can send us a DM on Instagram at IronTrapFinds, F-I-N-D-S, and make sure you jump on the auction and check it out and see if you can score a deal, and no reserves, and maybe you guys can buy stuff, make a few bucks to keep this obsession going, just like we're doing. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.